Our last app was focused in learning more about the styling and building of basic React components. For our next application, we're going to focus on something that is required by nearly every single mobile app out there: authentication, or the process of signing in and signing out users to your application. We'll be wiring up authentication using the popular data service Firebase, which we'll use later on for some other interesting apps as well. So given that this is a new application, we are going to want to generate a new React Native project as well. So at my terminal, inside of my kind of general project directory here, so I've got my albums project right here, I'm going to generate a new project by using the React Native CLI. So if you recall, React-Native init, and then I'm going to call this project Auth. So this is going to start up our new project and install dependencies. It's definitely going to take a little bit. So let's talk a little bit more about the app that we're going to build and just kind of let this installation run. So let's check out a diagram of what we're going to be making. All right, here we go. So this is a mock-up of the app that we're going to be making. We're going to very purposefully keep it pretty limited in scope. So we're just going to be signing a user in and allowing them to sign out. So when our app first starts up, we're going to be on this left-hand kind of state over here. The user will be prompted with a sign-in form that will ask them for their email and password. After they press the login button right here, we'll then consider them to be signed in or logged in, at which point in time they'll see the screen on the right-hand side. So again, when a user is signed in, they won't have too much to do. They're just going to be able to sign out. We're just going to keep this the absolute basics of authentication for now. Now there's going to be one interesting aspect of this flow. You'll notice that we've only got kind of this sign in screen right here, and there's nothing about sign up, right? There's no ability to create an account. So what we're going to do to keep the lowest amount of friction for getting users signed up to our application, we're going to just show them login screen. And if they try to sign in with an email address that we've never seen before, we're going to assume that they're trying to create an account, and we'll just create an account for them. So we're going to have this kind of dual purpose login and sign up screen all in one right here. Before ever starting an app, I like to always have a good idea of the different components I'll need to create and also figure out what the biggest challenges of the app will be. So let's do that right now. So for this application, I think that we're going to be able to reuse a lot of the components that we just made. So we'll have a header component, we'll have a card with some card sections, and then a button to actually do the login. So I'm kind of thinking that perhaps the only component that we might need to make will be this login form component. And the purpose of the login form will be just to hold the sign up fields and the button and all that kind of good stuff. As far as the challenges in this app, we're definitely going to have quite a few. So we need to figure out how to use Firebase to authenticate a user or an application. That means we're going to sign up for the Firebase service and enable authentication and install the library to our project. Speaking of Firebase, especially as a library, once we install it, we're going to need to figure out how to integrate it into React. So Firebase did have a React integration library called React Fire, but it's not very well maintained and not really kind of up to date with React in general. So also our next challenge will be for the login form itself. We need to figure out how to handle user input. So this is going to be like a typable field right here that a user should be able to press on and then enter some input. So we need to figure out how to handle input. Also close related to input, we need to figure out how to validate whatever data the user enters. So if the user enters an email right here that does not exist, or excuse me, if they enter an email and password combination that is incorrect, we should give them a nice big error message to display. Finally, to make a usable application, we always want to give a reasonable amount of feedback to our users. So in this context, we want to make sure that whenever we are attempting to log a user in, like so when they type in the email and password and then click login, we should show a spinner to let the user know that we are attempting to verify their email and password so that they know that we're actually doing something. So definitely a lot of challenges with this app. Deceptively, it looks like there's not a lot going on here, but trust me, we're going to cover a lot of content just to get this sign up form put together. So let's continue the next section and start working on this application.